Hello everybody, welcome back to another What's in the Box, and on today's episode we've got a little bit of post to go through. We've got a review to do and some news as well. So we'll start off with the post. Now I've got a few Christmas cards here, and this is the first one I received. To Glenn and family, Merry Christmas, have a great season, love from Purple Fairy, brackets Sandra and family. And if you haven't already subscribed to Purple Fairy, go over and do so. Nice channel. She does a few little reviews on coins. She's also got a crafting channel as well, I believe. And this is the second one I received, which has got 3 kings on it. To Glenn and family, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And then we've got in Welsh and in English the best wishes for Christmas and the New Year. Best wishes, Jude and Rob. Now I have sent a few cards out this year as well, not as many as I did last year. The postage is a bit astronomical. Right, the third bit I got, so you can probably tell by the envelope, it's actually come from Change Checker. Let's get rid of the evidence and see what we've got here. I did have it up the right way in the first place. So we've got the new Harry Potter, 50 pence. So it's got the Hogwarts Express on it. And obviously we've got this lenticular feature on the right hand side. A few people don't like it, but I don't know, I think it makes the coin look a bit better. There you go, if you can see, you got the lightning bolt there. And then if you tip the other way, you got the 25. Now this is come from Jim Kay's illustrated book from 2015. So although it's 25 years of magic, I can't understand why they've used a book from 2015 rather than the original illustration, but never mind. So let's have a zoom in. We can probably see a bit better. So we've got Harry Potter there with his trolley, and he's got Hedwig in the cage, and then we've also got an owl flying above as well. So I don't know whether this is when he's just got off the train or whether he's waiting for it to come into the station. And of course we've got the late Queen's portrait on the obverse. Now this apparently is the last commemorative coin that's actually going to have Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. Obviously it will be getting replaced with the new King Charles III one. So I'll just put that there. We've got a little scratch card, so I might as well do that now. I usually find the, like I said in the last episode, I think Dan Temple's medallion is very good at scraping off these little cards. It looks like we've got a representation of the People Act here. Can't remember if it's one I've already got. But as I said in previous episodes, I don't actually collect these. I do pass them on to anybody who hasn't got them. So a representation of the People Act from 2018. Got the UK as the country of issue. Obverse designer Jodie Clark, reverse designer Stephen Taylor, with the mintage of 9 million. Key fact: reverse design by Stephen Taylor was inspired by the posters of the period. Actually, that reminds, I think that I did actually receive that the last time out, because I can remember reading the same key fact. Right, so I'll just move that one side and replace Dan's token in its rightful place. Right, I'll just move these off as well, because after Grossy's little rant a few days ago, followed by the more serene review by Laughter, I'm actually going to do a review on the mintage figures as well, with hopefully a few more key facts thrown in. So as you know, last Thursday we did get the mintage figures for 2021. Now I did a review some time ago on the annual reports, and that was from the 1st of April 2021 to the 31st of March 2022, the annual accounts for the Royal Mint. And it did state in there that in total there was 339 pieces, that's coins, that were actually issued into circulation. Not minted, just issued into circulation. Now the mintage figures for 2021 have a total of 320 million, so it's not actually far off. Now, quite a few of these coins I don't have in circulated condition. So anyway, we'll start off with the first one, which is the penny. So this is a billion uncirculated one that I had from a set. But the circulated mintage is going to be 56 million. Now that is actually a reduction of 32 million on the 2020 figures. And obviously the 2018 and the 2019 were NIFCs. But in 2017 there was nearly 24.1 million were actually minted. Yeah, so we've actually got a drop of 32 million since 2020. Now the next one, which I do have in a circulated condition, is the 2 pence. And as you can see there, we've got a mintage of 117,700,000. Now this is the first 2 pence to be issued into circulation since 2017, because 2018, 19 and 20 were all NIFCs. But this has seen a huge increase of 100 million on the 2017 figures. So if you take that off, it's roughly about the amount that was in 2017. Next, we've got the 5 pence. Now again, I don't have it in circulated, so this is the billion uncirculated one. But for circulated figures, it's 28 million exactly, which is actually again a drop, but this time of 21 million since 2020. Now since 2014, and apart from the 2018 NIFC, the annual mintage figures for the 5 pence has actually been reducing steadily on an annual basis. So wonder whether that might be the end of the 5p, I don't know. Next we'll move on to the 10 pence. Again, I do have this one in a circulated condition, and this one is a mintage of 71,200,000. Now this is actually an increase of almost 26 million on the 2020 figures, and that was actually reflected in the annual report, because we did see quite a vast increase on the 10 pences. Next we've got the 20 pence, again one I don't have in circulated condition yet. In fact, I don't even have one from 2020 yet. So this has a circulated mintage of 19,600,000. Now there was over 32.5 million issued in 2020, and like I said, we still haven't found one of those. So that'll be another one to look for. Next is the 50 pence. Now this is the only one out of the 8 coins that is not going into circulation. So I've actually updated that with the NIFC bit on the bottom. But I'm presuming after a combined shield mintage of over 168.5 million in 2019 and 2020, it was probably a nailed on certainty that this would be an NIFC for this year. Now in total, including the standard 50 pence, there was 14 50 pences issued in 2021. 13 of them in commemorative form. Now one or a couple that I thought may have gone into circulation, Now this is the 2021 Team GB. Obviously we did have a one with the 2020 on, but it was actually reissued in 2021 because of the pandemic, and the Olympics got delayed. So I thought that one may have gone into circulation along with a one that celebrated the anniversary of decimalisation. So there was actually two issued. There was a second portrait with the Arnold Machin, and there was also a one with the Jodie Clark portrait. Now, similar to the Platinum Jubilee this year, because there was two issued with different obverses. Obviously we had the John Bergdahl on the obverse, but the one with the Jodie Clark did actually go into circulation, so it was a bit odd that maybe that one didn't go into circulation. And this is probably where Grossi was getting a bit perturbed about, as there was nothing put into circulation. In fact, since 1997 there's actually been a circulated commemorative coin of some description every single year, but 2021 there wasn't one. So moving on to the £1 coin. Again, one I don't actually have in circulated condition yet, so that's another one I'm going to have to be looking for. So the £1 coin had a mintage of 21,760,000, which is actually another decrease, this time of 34 million on the 2020 version. So apart from 1998 and 1999, which were NIFCs, the £1 coin has had a circulated coin every single year since it was introduced in 1983. And last but not least, now this is probably going to warm the cockles of Christopher Collect's heart, the £2 coin. Again, haven't got it. I did actually have it as an IFC, which I've crossed out because I hadn't seen one and nobody else had seen one. So it looks like these are still in the long store at the Royal Mint, but this one has a mintage of 6,045,000. So it's a 5-year gap since the last circulated £2 coin in 2016, but it's actually, and I'll put it up here, the 32nd lowest minted £2 coin of all the circulated coins. That's in commercial, commemorative and definitive varieties. So will it be one to keep, I ask? I mean, could it be classed as common? I mean, DNA, Marconi, Rugby, Trevithick, Gunpowder Plots, they've all got a lower mintages, but they're all classed as common, so it's possible that this one as well. But you do need them for a date run, or in North East Coins' case, not the date run. So that's it for the slight review on the mintage figures. Now, in other news, the recent Royal Proclamation has stated some other commemorative coins that are going to be struck for issue next year. Now, on the 14th of November 2023, King Charles III will celebrate his 75th birthday, and a £5 coin will be struck to commemorate that, which I think will go into the annual sets. I mean, most royal occasions are struck on £5 coins. I mean, obviously the 50p we had last year for the Platinum Jubilee is the first one that's been struck on one other than a crown or a £5 coin. Now, for 50p, we know that the two other Harry Potter coins will be issued next year. Doubt they'll be going into circulation. More than likely they will be done as straight runs like the other two have this year. The first one's Albus Dumbledore, which is said to have Albus Dumbledore 25 years of magic on the inscription on the reverse. And then, of course, we've got Hogwarts School as well. On the 5th of July next year, the NHS celebrates its 75th anniversary. So we had the 50th anniversary way back in 1998. Now, way back in 1948, Aneurin Bevan, who was the Labour Party Minister for Health under the Prime Minister Clement Attlee, brought out this proposal that every man, woman, child would not have to pay for any health care. Before that, they used to have to pay. And I think that one might well go into the annual sets as well. Now, we've also got the 75th year since the arrival of the Windrush generations. So the HMT, which stands for His Majesty's Transport, Empire Windrush, actually brought over 1,000 people coming from Jamaica and other Caribbean countries to London. There was also apparently 2 stowaways as well. Now, the Empire Windrush was originally called the MV Monterosa. MV stands for motor vessel, which was a passenger liner and cruise ship, but it was used by the Germans as a troop ship. But after the war, it was taken as a prize of war by Britain. So again, I think this 50p may well go into circulation because we are still doing the sort of diversity, Build Britain, etc. So we knew that one went in 2020. And of course, recently we did have that other 50 pence issued for the Pride coin. So I think this Windrush generations will be a circulated one as well. But like I say, this is just my opinion. Lastly, we've got some £2 coins. Continuing with the £2 Innovation in Science series, we've got Edward Jenner, who was a scientist who invented the smallpox vaccine. And this will celebrate 200 years since his death, which was in January 1823. It's possible again that this one might well be one in the annual sets. And also next year, the Flying Scotsman, that big steam train, celebrates the centenary of its first journey. Now, on the inscription, apparently it's going to say LNER 4472, that was its number, 1923 to 2023. And on the edge, it's supposed to have live for the journey. Now, lastly, and this one is probably a bit near home for me, we've got the J.R.R. Tolkien £2 coin, and that will mark 50 years since the death of the author. On the edge, it's going to have "Not all those who wander are lost," which apparently is a quote from the Fellowship of the Ring, and it'll also have his monogram as well. But when I said sort of closer to home, this is a DVD of the film that was issued about a year or two back, and my eldest daughter Emma actually did part of the scenery and the set designing for this film. So it'll be interesting to see her thoughts on that when that comes out next year. So anyway, so those are the latest news that I've got. If anybody wants to put a comment down in the bottom, see what you think about it. And of course, all I say is thank you for watching. Enjoy your Christmas, because the next What's on the Box obviously will be after Christmas Day. It'll be Boxing Day. Yeah. So keep on hunting, enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.